Good morning, everyone. In the last class, we discussed about what is RDS and why we need to go for RDS. RDS stands for Relational Database Service. It is fully managed service in the AWS cloud. So when we are working with project development, database is used to store the data. So database, if you install on our own, then we need to take care of lot of challenges. To overcome these problems, we are using cloud database. So AWS will provide the database based on pay as you go model. So we are able to create one database and we are able to connect with the database also. Good. So in the real time, database creation will be taken care by infrastructure team and they will share the credentials with us. Those credentials we will configure in our application and we will connect with that database. Okay, next one. Here we have a service called IAM service. In the AWS, there is a service called IAM service is available. What is the meaning of this IAM service? IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. Okay, so this is used for user management in the AWS cloud. Okay, IAM, AWS IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management in the AWS cloud. Let's understand what is this IAM, how to work with this IAM. All right, Identity and Access Management. Identity and Access Management. So in this we have below functionalities in IAM. First one is users, second one is groups, third one is policies, also called as permissions. Okay, then next one roles. So like this we have several functionalities in the IAM. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. By using this IAM service in the AWS cloud, we can manage users, we can manage groups, we can manage policies, we can manage roles also. When we go for AWS cloud, guys, so if you see, when we want to log in into AWS cloud, okay, when you click on sign in into the console, when you click on sign in into the console, it will show you two options, guys. Have you ever observed in the login page, it is showing two options. One is called root user, another one is called IAM user. Guys, are you able to observe? It is showing
Yes, sir.
root user and IAM user. So that means in the AWS, two types of accounts can be created. So in the AWS cloud, two types of accounts can be created. One is called root account. One is called as root account. Another one is called as IAM account. So one is called root account and another one is called IAM account. So what is the meaning of root account and IAM account? Let's understand the difference between root account and IAM account in the AWS cloud. So here root account nothing but the default account. So whenever you create account in the AWS cloud, by default your account will be considered as a root account. Okay, so in AWS we can access in two ways. One is by using root account, another one is by using IAM account. Okay, so using this IAM service, we can decide who can access our AWS cloud account and what they can access and which services they can access in our cloud account, right? So in the AWS there is a service called IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. So by using this IAM we can manage users, groups, policies and roles. So what we will do with this IAM account, By using this IAM service in the AWS cloud, we can decide who can log in into our AWS cloud account and which services they can access in our AWS cloud account. Okay, fine. So in the AWS, we can access AWS cloud platform in two ways, guys. One is by using root account, another one is by using IAM account. One is by using root account and the second one is by using IAM account. Root account and IAM account will be available. So what is the meaning of this root account? When we create account in the AWS cloud, by default we will get root user account. Root user will have access for everything in the AWS cloud. So if you already created accounts in the AWS, all your accounts are called as root accounts. Root account is very powerful account in the AWS cloud, because for root account, the complete access will be available in the AWS cloud. So when I log in into my AWS cloud account, by default, we will log in as a root user. When I log in as a root user, by default, we will have all the access. So that means I enter my email ID, I enter my password. When I log in, it will give you the complete access for the AWS cloud platform. So the root account is a super account in the AWS cloud. We can perform any operation by using this root account. But once you go to the company, for a project one AWS cloud account will be available. For project one AWS cloud account will be available. So do you think that they will share root account credentials with every team member in the project? Guys, do you think that they will share root account credentials with every team member? No. So root account is very powerful account. It will have access for everything. So that's why it is not recommended to use root account for daily activities. Whatever the daily activities we are performing in the AWS cloud, for those daily activities, using the root account is not recommended. Then what we need to do for daily activities, we will use IAM account. So in the AWS, two types of accounts will be available. One is called as root account, another one is called as IAM account. When we create account in the AWS cloud, by default we will get root account only. The root user will have access for everything in the AWS cloud. Okay, so it is not recommended to use root account for our daily activities. So for daily activities, we are going to use IAM account. So here, once one root account is created, under one root account, we can create multiple IAM accounts. Under one root account, we can create multiple IAM account. So for IAM accounts, we can decide the permissions. So suppose in my team, there is a person called John. So for the John, I will create IAM account and I will decide what services John can access in my AWS cloud. So in the project, for every team member, one IAM account will be provided with limited permissions. So once you join in the company, once you join in the project, if AWS cloud is available, then for you, they will create one IAM account and they will decide what policies or what permissions you can access in that IAM account. So you cannot access everything which is available in the IAM account. You cannot access everything which is available in the IAM account. What services you can access in this AWS, they will decide by using your IAM account. They will decide the policies for your IAM account. So can you guys tell me what is the purpose of IAM in the AWS cloud? Guys, come on. Can you tell me what is the purpose of IAM in the AWS cloud?
Role-based access.
Yes, IAM is used to give role-based access for the users. So identity and access management. In how many ways we can access AWS services, guys? In how many types of accounts we can create in the AWS? Two types.
One is root user, another is
One
IAM.
is root account, another one is IAM account. So what is the meaning of root account? Root account
Account to
is
the super user.
Accessible all
super user.
services.
So whenever we sign up in the AWS, by default one account will be created. That account is called as root account. But it is not root, as root account is a powerful account. We should not give the root account credentials to all the team members. As it is a powerful account, we should not give those credentials to all the team members. So we need to create IAM account for the team member. And for daily activities, we are going to use this IAM account only. Once one root account is available, in that root account, we can create multiple IAM accounts. So in the real time, for every team member, one IAM account will be provided with limited permissions. Limited permissions in the sense, what services they should access in our AWS cloud, only those permissions we are going to provide for them. And whenever you see here, for every root account, one account ID will be generated. Okay, for every root account, if you see, 12-digit account ID will be available, which is root account ID. So whenever you create an account in the AWS, that account is by default root account. For the root account, one 12-digit number will be generated. So this is root account ID. For every account, one ID will be available. Now, as a root user, I'm going to create the IAM users in the cloud. So let's go here and type a service with a name called IAM. Manage access to AWS resources. Who can access our cloud account and what they can access in the cloud account, we can decide by using IAM service. Go to this IAM service. Go to IAM. So here you can see currently there are no users available. There are no groups available. I have not created any policies also. Now go here, go to users, no resources to display. Currently users are not created. Let me click on create user. Let me give the name of the user. So I'm giving the username as Ashok. Let me give the username as Ashok. And for here, for Ashok, do you want to provide the console access? Again, here two things here, guys. So whenever we are having the AWS cloud platform, when we are having the AWS cloud platform, we can access AWS cloud in multiple ways. Accounts are two types. Accounts are two types, right? Root account and IAM account. And how can we access this AWS cloud platform? So currently we are accessing AWS cloud platform by using console, browser console. Okay, so through web browser we are using this AWS cloud platform, which is called web console, right? So tomorrow I want to connect with the AWS cloud by using a software called Terraform. Terraform is used to create the resources in the AWS cloud. Okay, and I want to communicate with the AWS cloud. I want to communicate with the AWS cloud from another platform, AWS CLI. So from the AWS command line also, we can create the account in the AWS platform. Okay, I can communicate with the cloud by using AWS CLI. Tomorrow, I want to communicate with the AWS cloud through my Java application. My Java application want to communicate with the AWS cloud. So this is called programmatic access. Okay, this is called web console access. This is called programmatic access. So when the AWS cloud is available, so currently what we are doing, we are trying to log in into the AWS cloud and we are performing the operations. So whatever the connection that we are establishing with the AWS cloud, that is called web console access. So in the real time, how people will communicate with the AWS cloud? By using Terraform, they will communicate with the AWS cloud. By using CLI, they will communicate with the AWS cloud. And by using some projects also, they will communicate with the AWS cloud. Okay, so this is a console access and this is programmatic access. Programmatic access. So this is programmatic access and this is console access. So now when we are creating the IAM user in the AWS cloud, giving the console access and giving the programmatic access, we can decide. So for the Ashok user, I am giving the console access. Okay, provide user access to the AWS management console, which is optional. Which is optional. So I want to create one IAM user with a name called Ashok. Okay, so go to IAM service, guys. Go to IAM service. Here there is a users option available. Click on create user. Give the name for user. Which user you want to create? I want to create a name user with a name called Ashok. Provide user access to the management console. So you understand what is the purpose of this option? Provide user access to management console. What is the meaning of that? That means, do you want to allow the user to log in into your cloud account or not? Okay, so do you want to allow the user to access AWS from the browser or not? So I'm giving that console access for the user. I want to create a user, auto generated password or custom password. Give the password for the user. So I'm giving password. Okay, whatever the password I am giving, user must create a new password at the next sign in. That means whenever IAM user is created, I have given some username, I have given some password. If I select this checkbox, user must create a new password at next sign in. That means when the Ashok user login into the AWS first time, it will ask the Ashok to update the password. I am setting some password for this user account. But when that user login, it will ask to reset the password. If you select this checkbox, it will ask the user to reset the password. Click on next. Okay, now it is asking, do you want to add the user to the group? Do you have any group available? No. Do you want to copy the permissions? No. Do you want to attach policies directly? Yes, attach policies directly. Policy is nothing but permissions which service user can access in the AWS cloud. So for this Ashok user, I'm creating one IAM account with web console access. So what services Ashok can access in the AWS cloud, we can attach those policies directly. So I'm going to give a policy called EC2 full access. That means for Ashok user, I'm giving full access on the EC2. That means he can access everything in the EC2. He can create virtual machines. He can delete the machines. He can start the machines. He can stop the machines. Only EC2 permission I am giving. I am not giving RDS permission for the Ashok. I am giving out of this 1200 policies in the AWS. I am giving only one policy for the Ashok, which is EC2 full access. Okay, click on next, then click on create user. Okay, see what are the two policies I am adding. Ashok user is created. I have given one password for that and require password reset. So Amazon EC2 full access password change option I have given. Click on create user. So with this, Ashok user got created. You can see the password also. So this is the AWS IAM user login URL. Okay. And this is my username and this is my password. Okay. View the user. You can see the user details here. User got created. So once the user got created, let me log out from this account. Currently, I am in the root account. Let me sign out from the root account. Now, I want to log in into my IAM account. Company will provide me IAM account. Now, I need to log in as a IAM user. I need to log in as a IAM user. So go to AWS login page. Go to AWS login page. In this login page, go to the login as IAM user. See, when you select root user, it will ask email ID and password. When you select IAM user, it will ask account ID. Boss, your IAM account belongs to which root account? So as I told you, for root account one, ID will be available. You take this root account ID and you give this account ID. So for every root account, a 12-digit unique account ID will be available. In that root account, multiple IAM accounts will be created. So when you want to log in into the AWS cloud, okay, so if you want to log in, then select IAM user, give the account ID, then it will ask your IAM username and IAM password. I have given my username as Ashok and I have given my password Ashok@123. Okay, click on sign in. I'm trying to log in first time. When I log in first time, what is happening? It is asking me to update the old, give the old password, new password, confirm password. When I log in first time, it is forcing me to change my password. Okay, I'm giving my old password, Ashok at the rate 123. Now I'm giving my new password. I'm giving my new password here. Click on confirm password change. Yes, with this I have updated my password for my account. So with this I am able to log in into the AWS cloud. With this I'm able to log in into AWS cloud. Now see, so many things I'm getting access denied. I don't have permission to see all the updates here. Check the profile. So this is my root account. In that root account, I am a IAM user. My username is Ashok. So if I go to EC2, I have only EC2 permission. I have only EC2 permission. I can access everything available in the EC2 service. I can create key pairs in the EC2. I can create virtual machines. I can start, I can stop them. But let me go to RDS service. Go to RDS in the AWS cloud and check it whether we are able to access the databases. Can you see what is showing when I go for the database? Can you show me? Can you tell me? Am I able to access the database in the AWS? I'm not able to access database in the AWS.
Not able to access.
Why I am
Not
not able
about
to access database?
not about it.
Because not
Permission.
given the permissions.
We don't have permission to access the database in the AWS cloud. So all of you, can you log in into AWS and can you create your IAM account and can you give EC2 permission and log in into that and check whether you are able to log in or not? I'm giving 2 minutes of time. Please complete that quickly now. So I want you to practice IAM now itself. Do it quickly.
Sir, I am able to achieve this, sir.
I'm also able to do it.
I'm okay, sir.
Sir, this AM role is paid service or?
Guys, are you able to do this?
Yes, sir. Sir, did this service is paid service or free?
No, it's free, sir. IAM is free service. For user management, it is free. Okay, so I hope you got the clarity. What is IAM service and how we will use it? So I'm able to log in into my AWS cloud account as a IAM user, but I have limited permissions. When I say limited permissions, they have given me only EC2 access. I can work with only EC2 service in the AWS cloud. I cannot access other services in the AWS cloud. So in the real time also, once we join in the project, for us, they will provide IAM access. They will create a IAM account for us and they will give limited permissions for us. So, okay. So when we are performing our daily activities in the AWS cloud, we are going to use IAM account only. And let me show you another functionality. And for the programmers, this is the most important thing. How to connect with the AWS cloud programmatically. So currently we are connecting with the AWS cloud through web console. So what is the meaning of web console? We are directly trying to log in into the AWS cloud. We are directly trying to log in into the AWS cloud and we are able to perform the operations. Now let me log in as a root user. Okay, select the root user and give the email ID. For root user, it will ask email ID and password. Right? Yes. Sign in. Good. So I logged in into AWS cloud account as a root user and go to IAM service. So in the IAM, we can create the group also. We can add the users to the group. For example, development team is available. For all the development team, I want to give some permissions. Instead of giving permissions for every particular user, we can create one user group. So create one group, dev team. Okay, Ashok user I am adding to the dev team. So like this, I can create one group and I can add the user to the group. Dev team is available. So let me create one more user. Create user John available. Provide access to the John AWS console access. Create that user. Custom password. Ask user to change the password in the next sign in. Okay, I'm setting some password. User must create a new password in the next login. Click on next. Now add the user to the group. Dev team is the group available. I'm adding the user to this group. Click on next. So these are the two policies. Create the user. So with this John user is created. URL to login as a IAM user. Username and password is available. Now, if you go to group, you can give the permissions at the group level also. Dev team group is available. So for the dev team group, you can add the users and you can change the permissions. No permissions available at the group. Add permissions. Attach policies. Attach policies nothing but what are the policies you want to add. For the EC2 use for this group, I want to give EC2 full access. Full access means they can access everything in the AWS. If I want to give full access for another service in the AWS cloud, for example, RDS access I want to give. So RDS full access or RDS read access. So in the RDS only there are so many policies available. So based on this, you can give the policies to the group or you can give the policies for the users also. When you give the policies at the group level, it will be applicable for all the users who belongs to that group. Okay, when you add the policy at the group level, that policy will be applicable for all the users who belongs to that group. When you add the policy at the group level, it will be applicable for all the users who are belongs to that group. You got my point. And the next one here, guys, and the most important thing for the developers here, tomorrow from my Java application, I want to connect with the AWS cloud. So this is called as programmatic access. My Java project through Java code, I want to communicate with the AWS cloud platform. If you want to communicate with the AWS cloud platform through your Java code, then what we need to do? For that, IAM user, if you go to the user, Ashok user is available. So for the Ashok user, security credentials will be available. Those are called as secret keys. For the programmatic access, for console access, username and password will be available. Okay. When you want to connect with the AWS cloud programmatically, then access key and secret key will be available. So if you want to connect with the AWS cloud through browser, if you want to log in into the AWS cloud through browser, then they will create a IAM user. For that IAM user, they will give you username and password. With that username and password, you can communicate with the AWS cloud platform. But tomorrow, in the project requirement, we want to communicate with the AWS cloud programmatically. So through my Java program, I want to communicate with the AWS cloud. Then for that, we need access key and secret key. If you have the access key and secret key, then only you can communicate with the AWS cloud through your program. So how to generate the access keys and secret keys for a particular IAM user? So go to IAM user, Ashok is the user. For the Ashok user, security credentials. Currently, this is the access keys are not available. If Ashok want to communicate with the AWS cloud programmatically, for that IAM user, access keys should be generated. Currently, access keys are not available. Let me go and click on create access key. So when I click on access key, use case. What is the use case of your access key? Command line interface or other use cases, you can select anything. Okay. So create other use case, click on next, description tag value, Ashok access key. Ashok access key is the tag I am giving. Click on create access key. So with this, access key is generated for the Ashok. This is the access key ID and this is the secret access key. So programmatically, if you want to connect with the AWS cloud, then you need to generate the access key for that IAM user. So this is access key. This is access key and this is secret key. Copy this. Right? So they will give you the access key and the secret key like this if you want to communicate with the AWS cloud by using your Java program. If you want to communicate with the AWS cloud by using Java program, then they are going to provide the IAM account. Along with the IAM account credential, they will provide you access keys also. So when we need this username and password, when we need secret key and access key, guys, in which scenario we will use username, password, in which scenario we will use access key and secret key?
When we need to log in to
the password and user ID.
Yeah, when you want to access AWS cloud from your browser, if you want to connect with the AWS cloud through web console, then you are going to use username and password. You are going to use username and password. If you want to communicate with the AWS cloud, through project, programmatically or through Terraform or through CLI, through Java application, if you want to communicate with the AWS cloud, then we are going to use access keys and secret key. If you are connecting with the AWS cloud by using access key and secret key, which is called programmatic access. If you are connecting with the AWS cloud using username and password, This is called console access. Able to follow me?
Yes, sir.
Right? Very good. So anybody having idea what is the Terraform? Anybody having idea what is Terraform?
We
For
use it to
developers, it
create
is
the,
not required. For developers, it is not required. But do you have any idea on the Terraform?
use it to create the services in the cloud.
Guys, currently, how we are creating the EC2 instances, databases in the AWS cloud? Through Web Console, we are creating. So we are going to AWS cloud, we are going to EC2, we are creating a virtual machine manually. We are going to RDS, we are creating the database manually. So in the real time, infrastructure creation will be automated by using a software called Terraform. Okay, so database, nobody will create the database manually in the real time. So whatever the resources we want to use in the AWS, currently we are creating those resources manually. But in the real time, we don't create those resources manually. To create the resources in the real time, Terraform software will be used. Okay, so for developers, it is not required because as a developer, we are not responsible to create the infrastructure. So Terraform is infrastructure creation software. Okay, so in the DevOps course, we are going to teach that Terraform concept. If anybody is interested to learn the Terraform, I explained the Terraform in 2 hours of time. Okay, so AWS tutorial Terraform crash course in 2 hours, I have explained the Terraform course. So in this Terraform, we explain how to create the infrastructure in the AWS cloud. So in the real-time projects, DevOps team is going to use this Terraform software in order to create the infrastructure. Terraform is an open source software that is developed by HashiCorp company. It is developed by using Go language, and Terraform is called as infrastructure as a code software. Okay, so infrastructure as a code. I want to create a database in the cloud. I want to create virtual machine in the cloud. I want to create a database in the cloud. I want to create a virtual machine in the cloud. Then instead of creating manually, we are going to write the Terraform script and we are going to create the infrastructure in the cloud platform. Okay, and Terraform is supporting almost all the cloud platforms. So how we are going to write this Terraform? Terraform script will be available. Now see here, this is a Terraform script which is used to create EC2 instance in the AWS cloud. So this is the AWS instance creation, AMI, and T2 micro instance. This is the key pair. This is the security group. This is the Terraform code to create a EC2 instance. So whatever the resources we are creating in the AWS cloud manually for our practice purpose, in the real time, those resources will be created by using Terraform software. So when the Terraform wants to communicate with the AWS cloud, we need to specify what is the region, what is the access key, and what is the secret key. So whatever this access key and secret key we are generating, Terraform will use the access key and secret key to communicate with the AWS cloud and create the resources. Okay, so similarly, we can write the script to create the database also. RDS I want to create. So to create the RDS in the AWS, again, Terraform code we are going to write. Now, this is the code which is used to create a MySQL database in the AWS cloud. So as part of our classes, what we have done, we created AWS cloud manually in the AWS RDS database. We created manually by using Web Console. But in the real time, the database will be created through Terraform software. Who will use Terraform? DevOps team, cloud team will use the Terraform software in order to create the infrastructure in the cloud. Terraform is used to provision the infrastructure in the cloud platform. So whatever the infrastructure I'm creating in the AWS manually, that is just for our practice purpose. That's it. But in the real time, infrastructure will not be created manually. In the real time, infrastructure will be created automatically by using Terraform. You got the basic idea? But for a developer, it's not required. If you have interest to learn, then I have given one crash course on the Terraform in 2 hours of time. I explain what is Terraform, how to work with Terraform. You can go through this video so that you will have the idea on that. But actually for developers, it is not required. You understand? Where we are going to use access keys and secret keys in the AWS?
Whenever you want to go to the programmatic.
When you want to communicate with the AWS cloud through Terraform, and when you want to communicate with the AWS cloud by using your Java application, then we are going to use access keys and secret key. So do you know how to generate access key and secret key for the IAM user? Do you know how to generate access key and secret key for the IAM user?
Go to IAM, go
Go
to
to users, then select the username, John, go to security credentials. For the security credentials, can you see access keys available or not available for
Not
the John?
available.
For the John, access keys available, access keys are not available for the John,
Not available.
not available. So here there is option create access key. Now, so other option, click on next, then tag value, you can give something, create access key. So with this for the John value, access key generated, secret access key is generated. So these access keys and secret keys are used for programmatic access. For console access, username and password will be used. For console access, username and password will be used. For programmatic access, access key and secret access key will be used. Able to follow me? I hope you got the idea. What
Yes.
is IAM?
Yes, sir.
Why we need to go for IAM? And this IAM is completely free service in the AWS cloud, guys. IAM is completely free service. User management is free in the AWS cloud. You no need to do anything. You no need to pay anything to use this IAM service in the AWS cloud. It is a free service. Yep. Any questions on this?
Sir, vault is different and access key is different.
Sorry, vault.
Vault,
Yeah,
yeah.
those are different. Yes.
Is there any way that we can create a customized group policy instead of using a
Yes,
default
sir.
group?
In the AWS, custom policies also available. Those are called as inline policies.
Sir, can you create the IAM account within the IAM account?
No, sir. By using root, if you have IAM service permission, then you can create another IAM account.
Okay.
Okay.
Sir, that region is global. So for IAM, global
IAM for
region.
IAM is not a regional service. IAM is a global service. No need to select region when you are working with IAM. Okay.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So I have a question. How people usually prefer to use? Is it by console or by programmatic? I know it depends on the company, but how? So which is the most?
Generally, they will give both access. When you want to see what all the resources available and all, you can go to console. When you want to check the bill amount and all, you will go to the console access. When you want to perform the operations in the real time to create the infrastructure and all, people will use programmatic access. Both will be used. Now, tomorrow I want to develop a Java application which should communicate with the AWS cloud. Then definitely I should go for programmatic access only. Yes. Do we need to pay anything for IAM, guys?
No. It's free.
It is a free service in AWS cloud. IAM is used to manage below functionalities in AWS cloud. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management in the AWS cloud. By using IAM, we can manage users, we can manage groups, we can manage policies, we can manage roles also. Using this IAM service, we can decide who can log in into our AWS cloud account and which services they can access in our AWS cloud account. Okay. we can access AWS cloud platform in two ways. Okay, by using with the help of, we can access AWS cloud platform in two ways. One is with root account, another one is IAM account. When I say root account, this is called super account. Okay, and here limited permissions. Root account means very powerful account. Root account will have access for everything in the AWS cloud. IAM account, nothing but limited permissions will be available. When we create account in the AWS cloud, by default, we will get the root user account only, that will have access for everything. In super account, root account is called as super account. But it is not recommended to use root account for our daily activities. So we should not use the root account to perform our day-to-day activities in the AWS cloud. For daily activities, we will use IAM account. In one root account, we can create multiple IAM accounts. For every team member, one IAM account will be created in the real time with limited permissions. So for the root account, ID will be available. Inside the root account, IAM accounts can be created. And for the IAM account, you can generate access key and security keys also. For the programmatic access, we are going to do that. So what is the lab task we are doing? Login into AWS account as a root user. Then go to IAM service and create IAM user with the below policies. Provide web console access and generate security credential. Web console access is used to log in into AWS cloud account from the browser. Security credentials are used to connect with the AWS cloud using programs, AWS cloud with below options. So in the
Sir, I
real
have
time,
one doubt.
in the real time, people will use Terraform, and we can use AWS CLI also to communicate. And by using Java, by using .NET, by using Python also, you can communicate with the AWS cloud. So if you want to access AWS cloud from the browser, then you can go with web console access. Programmatically or with Terraform, if you want to access AWS cloud, then we are going to use security credentials. Okay, good. Any questions, anyone?
Sir,
So
I
how
have
many
one question.
Yes, sir.
IAM
Sir, I
accounts can
have a root account. In the root account, I have 3 EC2 instances. So out of the 3 instances, I gave permission to one of the EC2 instance for that particular IAM account.
You
Is it
can't give
possible?
like that, sir. Particular machine you can't give to particular user. You need to give at the service level. When you give at the service level, all the instances they can access. One machine you can't
Okay.
assign to one person. You can't do that.
Okay. Okay. Is there any other ways to
No.
do like that?
No.
Okay. Directly, if you have 3 services, you need to provide 3 services access.
You will not provide at the instance level. You will provide the permission at the service level.
Okay.
So if I give the permission at the EC2, they can access all the instances available in the EC2, not one or two, everything.
Okay, sir.
So Ashok, one question here.
Yes.
What's the maximum IAM accounts can be created under
There is
a
no
account?
limit, sir. Any number.
Okay.
There is no limit. You can create any number of accounts. And someone is asking, when web console is already available to create the infrastructure, why to use Terraform to create the infrastructure? So web console is time-taking process to create the infrastructure, right? If I want to create EC2 instance, 7 to 8 steps I have to follow. Select AMI, select key pair, select instance type, select security group, select storage, then create it. It is a repetitive process. Suppose if I want to create the instances 10 times with different configurations, then so going through all the steps again and again, time taking. Terraform script, if you write the code once, that code can be reused to create the instances multiple times. So Terraform scripts are reusable. By using the code, we will manage the infrastructure. That code is reusable. Okay, in the real time, every project will use Terraform only to create infrastructure in the cloud platform. Nobody will create manual infrastructure in the real time. So, but the Terraform is a DevOps tool. It's not required for us. If you are interested to learn, If you want to improve your skill set, then you can go through my Terraform crash course video available in the YouTube. In 2 hours, you can learn what is Terraform.
Sir, can you share in the group?
Yes, sir, sure.
Sir,
Yeah.
yesterday I asked one doubt, sir, regarding that load balance creation. If you
Okay, yeah,
please,
you are facing
share.
the issue, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, share your screen. Your name?
Chandrasekhar.
Yes.
Sir, where the roles is come into picture as a IAM user?
So roles means when you want to access one service from the another service. For example, tomorrow I'm going to create a Kubernetes cluster. Kubernetes want to access EC2. Then we are going to create a role. Role means giving the permission from one service to another service. That's where roles will be available. Policies means direct service permission. Roles means when one service is going to access another service, then we are going to use that. Yeah, first, can you access your machines directly with public IP? Are they responding?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Can you click on access public IP? Show them. Show me that. Go to public IP, access it. Yeah, first server is working. Go to the second server. You don't need to do all this. Below there is a up arrow, right? Click on up arrow.
Yeah.
Go to the second one. Yes, working. Good. Now go to the target group. Show me the target group you have in the AWS. Open the target group. Scroll down. Scroll down. Select these two. Select these two. Register targets. Click on register targets. Yeah, select these two. Scroll down. Include as pending below.
Yeah, did it.
Already included. Okay. Now go to the load balancer. Yeah, delete this one. We'll create a new load balancer. Delete this. Yeah, create new load balancer. Application load balancer. Give some name. Yeah, give ALB. Yes. Internet facing. VPC, default VPC. Select the availability zones. 1A, 1B. That is fine. Yeah. 1C not required. Scroll down. Default security group. Scroll down. Select the forwarding. Target group. Yes. Scroll down. Yeah. Next. Scroll down. Go to the security group. Check the security group ID. Click on that group ID. Inbound rules. Add the HTTP. Click on add the rule. HTTP. 80. Anywhere IPv4. Delete that first rule. All traffic, delete the first one. Yeah. Yes, save it. Now go to the load balancer. Load balancer. Select that load balancer. Scroll down. Scroll down, scroll down. DNS will come. Yeah, copy the DNS. Once it is active, we should access the DNS.
Still it is in provisioning, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
What actually developer do on IAM? Like we will get credential of IAM, we log in that.
Yes, we will get the credentials of IAM. With those credentials, we can access through console or through programmatic.
I mean, those things we don't need to worry about that. Which
No,
services
all
we
these things.
use.
This is IAM user creation is also operations team responsibility. They will create account for you. They will give account credentials to you. With those credentials, you need to access the cloud platform. That's it.
Okay. Inside there, like we are using EC2, whatever those services we have permission. Like previously, we can do same thing. And what is the AWS CLI? We will get idea about
command line also you can communicate with the AWS. Through command prompt, you can communicate with the AWS.
Yeah. So after active also getting same issue and the site can't be reached. Active I copied DNS.
Working, right?
Refresh it.
But yeah, in this Chrome, this is not working.
Refresh.
Maybe delete the cookies, then you can.
Maybe some browser cache. Here also is working now.
Yeah, okay.
The Chrome also working. Refresh. Refresh it again.
Yeah.
Yes, it's working.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Sir, one more thing. When we were trying to access the DNS through mobile, it was not working.
Maybe you are not typing that URL correctly in the mobile. In the mobile, you need to open a browser. In that browser, you need to paste that URL.
Okay,
If
no,
you
we were just clicking and then accessing it.
No. The mobile, you need to open browser. In that browser, you need to paste the in the browser address bar. You need to type the URL.
We can't paste it, or
You can paste it. You can paste it properly. If you paste, it will work.
okay.
Yes, fine, guys. So with this, we understood what is EC2 service, what is RDS service, what is IAM service in the AWS cloud. Next one, in the AWS, another famous service which is S3. Another famous service in the AWS cloud which is S3. What is S3 service in the AWS cloud? S3 stands for Simple Storage Service in the AWS. S3 is for storage purpose, guys, and S3 is used for unlimited storage. You can store any amount of data in the AWS cloud by using this S3. And S3 works based on object storage. Object storage nothing but files, guys. Object means files. So any video files, any audio files, any text files, any type of file. So if you have some files, you want to store those files in the cloud, then there is a service called S3 service is available. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service in the AWS cloud. This S3 is used for unlimited storage in the AWS. And S3 works on object storage. One object, nothing but one file in the S3. And S3 is a paid service. So if you want to store the data, if you want to retrieve the data in the cloud, then you have to pay the amount. S3 is a paid service which is used for storing and retrieving the data. And S3 will maintain our data by using a concept called buckets concept. S3 will maintain the data by using a concept called bucket. So bucket is nothing but one group of objects. Buckets are used to logically separate our objects. Bucket means group of objects. Buckets are used to logically separate our objects. Buckets are used to separate objects logically. Okay, bucket means group of objects. Okay, suppose when we are using Netflix, in the Netflix you can see lot of movies will be available. So all the Tollywood movies will be available in one bucket, Bollywood movies will be available in one bucket, Hollywood movies will be available in one bucket. So like this, if you want to store some files in the cloud, then we can go for a concept called S3 service. S3 stands for Simple Storage Service in the AWS cloud. S3 is used for unlimited storage. S3 works based on object storage, object nothing but file. And S3 is a paid service which is used for storing and retrieving the data. S3 maintains data using buckets concept. Buckets are used to separate objects logically. Bucket means group of object. Bucket means group of object. So when we create one bucket, guys, it will generate one URL for the bucket. When we create a bucket, it will generate one URL for the bucket. Inside that bucket, we can upload the object. When we upload the object, for the object also, one URL will be generated. So let me show you S3 service. Go to S3 here. So when you see S3, scalable storage in the cloud, simple storage service. The full form for the S3, that is simple storage service. Okay, go to S3. So every object in S3 stored in a bucket. To upload the files and folders to S3, you need to create the bucket where the objects will be stored. So can you see what they are saying about S3? Amazon S3 to store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere. You can store any amount of data from anywhere by using this AWS S3 concept. Store and retrieve any amount of data from anywhere by using this S3. So go to S3, go to the buckets concept. So currently there are no buckets available in the S3. So here I'm in the Mumbai region. Currently there are no buckets available. Create a bucket. You can give any name for the bucket. Whenever you are giving a name for the bucket name should be unique within the globe. Okay, so you need to take a unique bucket name. I'm taking bucket name Ashok ID 0091, something like this. So if anybody has taken this name, I can't use it. So whenever you are creating a bucket in the AWS, then you need to choose unique name for that bucket. So bucket name I am giving ACLs enabled. By default, buckets will be private, guys. I want to enable the ACL. ACL nothing but access control list. Enable the ACL. Okay. Then uncheck this checkbox. By default, it is blocking all the public access. Let me uncheck this checkbox so that public access will be available. So give the name for the bucket. ACLs enabled. Okay. Uncheck this checkbox. If you check this checkbox, that means you are accepting to block the public access. Uncheck this checkbox. Then let me go and create a bucket. Okay. I think it is asking me to confirm. When I'm enabling public access, it is asking for confirmation. Create a bucket. Yes. With this, I have created one bucket in the AWS cloud. One S3 bucket I have created in the AWS cloud. In this S3 bucket, currently no objects available. Objects are 0. Objects nothing but a file. Object nothing but a file. Currently in this bucket, objects are not available. Let me go and click on upload one object. Currently I am uploading the objects manually. add a file. Any file you can upload. So let me go and upload our nodes, especially assume that our AWS nodes available. I have uploaded that file. So I'm uploading that file into my bucket. Okay, permissions, I'm giving public read access. Whatever the bucket I'm uploading, I'm giving public read access for this file. Then click on upload. So with this, my file is uploaded into AWS cloud. So this is my file URL. Copy the URL. So with this URL, I can access my object available in the S3 bucket. Yes, the nodes is available. Ashok ID 009 bucket. In the AP South 1, in the Mumbai region, my bucket is created. In that bucket, my object is available. I'm able to access my object. So with this URL, you can access my object. Object is nothing but a file that I have uploaded in the S3 bucket. So can you guys see that URL now? Can you guys see that URL now?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to access my object now?
Yes,
What is the meaning of object?
the file.
A file that you can store. That file can be anything. That file can be anything. It can be a text file. It can be an audio file. It can be video file and all that stuff. Okay. So Amazon S3 service is available in the AWS cloud. What is the meaning of that S3 service? S3 stands for simple storage service in the AWS cloud. It is used for unlimited storage in the AWS. This S3 works based on object storage. When I say object, it is called file. And S3 is a paid service in the AWS cloud, which is used for storing and retrieving the data. S3 maintains data by using buckets concept. So buckets are used to separate our objects logically. So bucket means group of objects. You can create multiple buckets in the AWS cloud, and in one bucket we can upload multiple objects also. In the AWS cloud, S3 service we can use and we can create multiple buckets also. In every bucket we can upload multiple objects also. When we create a bucket, it will generate one URL for the bucket. We'll create one bucket, it will generate one URL for the bucket. When we upload object in the bucket, for that object also one URL will be generated. Using S3 service, we can create the bucket, and in that bucket we can upload object also. Are you guys able to understand how to create a bucket and how to upload the object in the bucket? Okay, so go to here, you can create one more bucket. Go to S3 service, Amazon S3, unlimited storage in the AWS cloud. Click on create bucket. So I'm giving another bucket name, Ashok ID 0081, something like this. I'm enabling ACL. What is the meaning of enabling the ACL? Guys, what is the meaning of enabling the ACL?
We can access.
Yeah, permissions we are managing by using this ACL. By default, it is blocking all the public access. Let me uncheck this checkbox. That means I'm giving the public access. Confirm this one. Then click on create bucket. So with this, my bucket got created. Bucket got created 0081. In this bucket currently no objects available. What is the meaning of object? A file. So let me click on upload. Okay. Select the file. You can add a file. You can add a folder also. Click on add file. Linux nodes is available. I'm adding. Select it. Under the permissions, currently this object, whatever I'm uploading, that will be private. People cannot access. If you want to allow the people to access your object, then grant public read access for that. Then confirm that. Then click on upload. So with this, my file is uploaded to S3 bucket. For that file, one URL will be generated. So whenever you upload one object to any bucket, for that object one URL will be generated. Using that URL, we can access that object. We can access that file by using that URL. So you can see this URL now. Can you access this object also?
So
Can you
this
access
bucket
this object also?
Sir,
Confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So
unique within that region or
you
across the region?
understand what is S3, right? S3 is a storage service in the AWS cloud, which is used to store unlimited data. And this S3 works based on object storage. Okay, file based storage. Any files that you want to store in the cloud, then we will go for S3. And this S3 is a paid service which is used to store and retrieve the data. And this S3 will maintain the data using buckets concept. Buckets are used to separate the objects logically. Bucket means group of object. When we create a bucket, one URL will be generated for that. Inside that bucket, we can upload the object. Then for that object also one URL will be generated. Using that object, we can access that bucket. Now, let's understand real-time scenario where we are going to use S3 service in the project. Sir, already for storage, RDS is available now. Then why we need to go for S3? In which scenario we will use S3 in our project? Anybody can tell me any real-time use case for that? Anybody
Storing
can tell
large
me any use case for
data.
that?
YouTube channel. We are
Store.
uploading the videos on the YouTube channel.
Now, let's take an example of Amazon Prime application. Amazon Prime application is available. So in the Amazon Prime, lot of movies and a lot of web series is available. Okay, so Amazon Prime application will use S3 and will use RDS also. Okay, so how AWS S3 will be used here and how AWS RDS will be used here. Okay, Amazon Prime application will use S3 and it will use RDS also. Sir, why it will use S3 and why it will use RDS? So Amazon people want to upload one movie in the Amazon Prime application. Amazon admin panel will be available. So if you go to Amazon Prime, let me open that. Amazon Prime application is available where you can watch our movies, right? So home movies are available here. Let me select one movie or web series. Lot of movies available in the Amazon Prime. So for example, let's take a movie. Sultan movie is available. Sultan movie is available in Amazon Prime. So when you go to then particular movie, when you open particular movie in the Amazon Prime, so movie name is available, movie description is available, movie rating, movie duration, movie genre, and movie cast. Okay, audio languages available, subtitle languages available, who is the director of the movie, who is the producer of the movie, who are the actors in that movie. So much information is available and movie is also available. So whatever the movie that they are uploading in the Amazon Prime, that contains something like this. Okay, movie name will be available, movie name, movie description, movie director, movie producer is available, movie actors will be available, movie rating is available, subtitles will be available, languages, audio languages will be available. Along with that, movie file will be available. So whenever the Amazon people want to upload a movie into the Amazon application, they will give all this information. They will give what is the name of the movie, they are how we are able to access the movies. They are uploading the movies into Amazon application. They are uploading the movies, we are watching the movies, that's it. They will upload the movie and we will pay the money and we will watch the movie. How they are uploading the movie in the AWS cloud, in the Amazon platform. There will be one form where they will upload a movie. Movie name, movie description, who is the director of the movie, who is the producer, who are the actors in the movie, what is the rating of that movie, what are the languages it supports, audio languages it supports, and actual movie file will be available. So whenever they upload the movie like this, all this information will be stored into database table and the actual movie file, that movie video will be available in the S3. Movie, which is a MP4 file. Okay, movie is a MP4 video file. Movie video file will be available in the S3 bucket. So in the S3 bucket, this is one object. Movie is one object. Actual movie will be uploaded to S3 bucket because it is a binary data. Audio video file will be available. Whenever they upload the movie in the S3 bucket, for this movie file, one URL will be generated. That URL will be saved in the database. So whenever we are storing the application data, we will deal with two types of data in the application. One is text data and another one is binary data. One is text data, another one is binary data. When I say binary data, it can be audio file, or it can be video file, or it can be any document. It can be any document. These things are called as binary data. Binary data is not recommended to store in the RDBMS. So RDBMS is used to store the data in the text format. RDBMS is used to store the data in the text format. But in the application, we are going to deal with the text data as well as we are going to deal with the binary data also. So binary data, we need to store in the file storage. So what is a file storage here? S3 is a file storage. Text data we need to store in the database. Binary data we need to store in the S3 bucket. So whenever they upload a movie to the Amazon application, actual movie will be stored in the S3. For that movie, one URL will be available. The remaining movie data will be stored in the AWS RDS database. For the movie, file URL will be stored in our database. When you want to watch the movie, so from the database, they will get the movie data. Movie URL will be available in the database. With that URL, they will get the movie from the S3 bucket. Now, if you see, Ashok IT website is available. In the Ashok IT website, if you go to courses offering, in the courses offering, course information is available. So core Java or Java full stack, something like that, Java real-time project. When you click on the Java real-time project, okay, so the course information is available and course image is available. Course image is a binary data, course details is the text data. So if you see core Java, image available and details available. Image will be binary file, text data is a normal data. Image will be stored in the S3 bucket, text data will be stored in the database. In our database, we will maintain only the URL of the file. Whatever the file we uploaded to S3, that object URL we will store in the database. Actual image will not be stored in the database. So in a project, two types of storages will be available. File storage will be available, DB storage will be available. File storage is used to store the binary data. DB storage is used to store the text data. Are you able to understand? What is the difference between S3 and RDS in the AWS? RDS is used to create the databases in the AWS cloud. S3 is a storage service. So when we will use S3 in the project, when we will use RDS in the project, when we will use S3 in the project, when we will use RDS in the project.
To store the binary data, we
Binary
use
data, you
S3.
use AWS S3.
And to store the text format, text
Yeah.
data, we're going to use
Now,
RDS.
how Amazon will understand which movie belongs to which data available in the database? What is the relation between the file available in the S3 and the data available in the database?
It's going to
URL.
create the buckets.
First movie will be uploaded to S3. So can I call movie as one object in the S3?
Yes.
Can I call movie as one object in the S3?
Yes.
Yes.
For that object, one URL will be generated. Can we store that URL in our database table?
Yes,
Yes.
we can store that.
Tomorrow, if we want to download the movie, what we need to do? First, go to database, get the movie information. Movie URL will be available in the database table. From that URL, you go to S3 and you download that movie. Now, here, who will upload the movie to S3 bucket? They will upload the movie to S3 bucket manually. Through code, they will upload the movie to S3 bucket.
Through the code.
Through the code, they will upload on S3.
To the code they will upload. That means my Java program should communicate with the S3 bucket, right? So
Yes.
currently we are going to the console access and I am using upload option. I'm uploading the file. But tomorrow when they are using Amazon Prime application to upload the movie, they will upload the movies manually to the S3 bucket or they will upload through one application. So Amazon Prime application, this is a Java project. Okay, in that Java project, there will be one screen which is used to upload the movie. When they upload the movie, that Java project will communicate with the S3 bucket and will upload the movie in the S3 bucket. Then it will get the URL. It will take the URL. Then it will insert the movie information in the database table along with the movie URL. So if Java project want to communicate with the S3 bucket, what is required for us? How Java project can communicate with the S3 bucket?
The RDS.
How Java project will communicate with the S3 bucket?
We need a
I hope that would be having any secret and access key, sir.
IAM account is required. Programmatic access is required. So just understand my point, guys. I have a requirement like this. You got a requirement to develop one screen in the project where you need to create one page, course name, course duration, course price, and course image. This is the requirement. You got one screen requirement in the project. You are developing one educational website. So in that website, you have a requirement like this. Okay, course image is a file, right? And store. They asked you to develop a screen like this, where you need to save the course data in our application. What is the name of the course, duration, price, and image? So image is basically a file here. Image is basically a file. So what they're telling is store course image, store the course image into AWS S3 bucket. Then store course data in database along with the image URL. This is the requirement. In the real time, a task will be available like this. You need to develop one screen. In that screen, you have the name, duration, price, image. Name, duration, price, text data. What about the image? Image is a binary data. Where we need to store that binary data? Binary data we need to store into S3 bucket. How we need to design the database table? Course ID, okay, and course duration, course ID, course name, course duration, course price, course image URL.
So
Course
instead
image
video, you are saving
URL.
image.
Sorry?
I mean, we can save video URL also here, right?
Yeah, that is, yeah, course demo video also you can take.
Oh.
Okay, so this is my table, guys. You need to develop a requirement like this. This is a real-time scenario. You need to develop one screen in the project. In that screen, you need to take the course name, you need to take the course duration, you need to take the course price, you need to take the course image, and you need to store it. And here, we need to maintain the storage at two places. One is the file-based storage using S3, another one is database storage for text data. Binary data will be stored into S3, text data will be stored into database. So what you need to do? When the screen is submitted, when the form is submitted, image you need to store into S3 bucket, then it will give the URL for your image. Your image is called as one object in the S3. It will give the URL for the image. With that URL, you need to insert the record into this database table. Image URL will be available in the database. Where is the actual image? Image will be available in the S3.
S3
When
bucket.
you upload the image into S3, URL will be generated. That URL you need to store into your database table. Tomorrow, when I want to get the course details, first I will go to database. I will get the course data. In the course data, name available, duration available, price available, URL available. With that URL, I will go to S3. I will get the image from the S3. This is the
Ashok sir, one small doubt. Whenever we are accessing S3 videos or S3 text files, as you shared, I was able to see the region and all. Did we able to change the URL of that particular file or object?
No, sir. URL, we don't give the URLs to the people directly, right? That's not an issue. So when you go for Amazon Prime, are you accessing the movies with the URL or you are accessing with the UI?
UI.
So when you click on the image link, right? Internally, they will take that URL, they will get the file. End user will not see those URLs.
Yes.
Okay, there is no problem.
Yeah.
Yes, are you able to understand my requirement?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So in the real time, where we are going to use S3? Where we will use S3 in the real time projects?
Java.
Where we will use S3 in the real time projects?
To store the image.
To store the
Binary
Images
files.
data or binary
Objects,
data.
files.
Binary
So
files.
then when to use S3, when to use database?
To
To store the
Store the
text data.
binary
Store the
data.
binary
Binary
Database for
use
the
files.
text data.
RDS.
To store the text
And
data,
that
we can
binary.
use RDS.
If you are storing the text data, then database.
Then
If you are storing binary data, then S3. Okay.
For,
So in which scenario we will use both S3 and database in your project?
Whenever we have combination, we have both data and binary
Your
data.
application, if your application dealing with the combination, suppose I have given you a screen. I have given you a screen, right? I have given you a screen. So the screen is course information I want to store in the database. Course name, course duration, course price, course image. I want to store the data in the database. So here the requirement is this image file, whatever the image file we have, that image we need to store into S3 bucket. When you upload the image into S3 bucket, that is called one object. For that object, one URL will be generated. That URL I will store into database. Now the question is how my Java application can upload the image into S3 bucket. That is the task. In the real time, you will get these kind of requirements only. So when I say real-time project, we need to understand the real-time scenarios. Now, so here we have seen IAM. What is the purpose of IAM? Managing the users. Now, so here the image will be uploaded to database S3 bucket manually, or image will be uploaded to S3 bucket through programmatically. Whenever you submit the form, your code should upload the image into S3 bucket, right? Or you will upload the image manually into S3, or your code should upload the image into S3.
Code should upload.
Code should upload in
to
S3.
the
Code should be uploaded into S3. So that means Java project should communicate with the S3 bucket. Java project should communicate with the S3 bucket. If Java project want to communicate with the S3 bucket, you need IAM user with the S3 permission and the access keys are required.
Sir,
You
for
need
S3
IAM
also we
user?
need permission separately.
Yes, so that IAM user should have S3 access. Then only he can connect with the S3 to upload the file, right?
Yeah. Means read and write both we need to
Full access should be available.
Okay.
So can you guys take this as a requirement and can you try to implement this requirement?
Sure, sir.
So I'm giving one real-time requirement for you. So tomorrow is Sunday, no class. So you have almost 48 hours of time. And can you do some research on this task and can you develop this task?
Yes, sir.
And it is new. I have not explained in the class. I'm giving this as a challenge for you. So take this challenge and try to complete this requirement before coming to Monday session. This is one of the most important real-time scenario. So this is the assignment I'm giving you for this weekend.
Sir, for UI, what we need to use? Either
you can use anything. Timely for anything. You can use anything. Now my requirement is develop a Spring Boot application to store course details, course name, course duration, course price, course image. Course image should be stored into S3 bucket and course information should be stored into database table. So to implement this task, we need IAM user with S3 full access and security credentials of IAM user. So as you want to communicate with the S3 bucket from your program, AWS SDK we need to configure in the project to perform this task. Can you read this assignment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Develop a Spring Boot web application to store the course details. So you need to develop one web page. In that web page, you need to have course name, duration, price, image. Image should be stored into S3 bucket and course information should be stored into database table. In the database, we will store image URL. In database, we will store image URL which is uploaded in AWS S3 bucket. So to implement this task, as your project should communicate with the S3 bucket, it is a programmatic access. When you are going for programmatic access, you need IAM user. That IAM user should have S3 full access and you need security credentials of IAM user. With that, you can upload the object to S3. Then it will give the URL. That URL you need to store into your database table. So let us see how many of you can complete this task before coming to next session. Now, you know what is IAM, you know what is S3. So by using this, you know RDS also. you know IAM, you know S3, you know RDS. By using all these three services combination, I want you to implement one small project.
Okay.
So can you feel this is a real-time requirement?
Yes, sir. This is real-time requirement.
A starting of student management system.
Yeah.
Ashok sir, I have a doubt.
Sir, this I can see in your site itself, sir.
Yes. Come on, guys. Any question?
Yeah, I have a doubt. If
Yes,
in
tell
case
me.
we cannot use AWS, how can I access that file data in any other alternate way? Is there?
Normal file system you can use. In your machine only, you can store in the file system. In the C drive or D drive, you can create one folder. You can store the images in that folder.
Sir, directly you can store the image and the videos in the directly database. Why you need this S3 when compared to direct
Sir,
database?
first you need to understand the purpose of RDBMS. RDBMS is not to store the binary data. If you store the binary data in the so when you go for RDBMS, there will be some size on the RDBMS, right? How much database size will be available? If you are keep on uploading the binary files in RDBMS, your database size will be completed. And RDBMS will take a lot of time to store the binary data and to retrieve the binary data. Performance wise, it will become very slow. That's why it's not recommended to use RDBMS to deal with binary data. You can store it, no problem, but performance issue will be available, memory issues will be available. That is the reason separate file storage will be there in a project to store the binary files.
Okay, sir.
You got my point?
Yes.
Guys, anybody not able to understand my requirement? And I know that it's not easy. This requirement is not easy. It is a challenge. First time you are going to try something very different than whatever you learnt in your previous courses.
Ashok sir,
Yes.
we stored the files, right? How to import into the local?
You need to download that.
Okay.
From the AWS you can download, or through program also you can download them. You have the URL. Once you have the URL, you can download through program, or you can download directly from the AWS account also.
Okay.
How many of you can complete this requirement, guys? And it is completely research and development. I have not explained in the class how to do this. You know what is IAM. You know how to generate the secret keys. You know how to create IAM user. You know how to give the permission for S3. Okay. So you know how to upload the object into S3 manually. Now, so whatever the object we are uploading to S3 manually, that object you need to upload through program. Once you upload through program, you need to get the URL. That URL you need to store into database. That is the task. Can you guys try this before coming to Monday session?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I have very bad experience with the previous batches. When we give the task, people will not try. And people want real time. People want to get the job with the experience. But when we give some task in the class, they will not do it. So people will depend on the faculty for everything. So I want you to become a self-learner. I want you to become an independent developer. So to become a self-learner, you need to take these kind of challenges and you need to research on the internet. So many examples will be there on the internet. So you need to research and you need to try to implement. If you are able to implement, that means your self-learning skills are good. If you are not able to implement this requirement, your self-learning skills are weak. You need to improve those skills. So take this as a challenge and try to complete before coming to Monday session, because in our e-commerce application also we have this kind of requirement. Got it? Fine, guys. So with this, I'm stopping for today. We'll meet again on Monday. So before coming to Monday, please practice all the AWS topics and especially work on this assignment. Thank you. We'll see you on Monday.
Do you have any session on Sunday, sir?
So this Sunday, I don't think so. We don't have any session. I will confirm in the group. So actually the workshop is pending. So if I have some other plan, if that is cancelled, then tomorrow I will take that workshop.
Yes, sir.
I will update in the group.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Happy weekend. Bye-bye.